Hello. Okay, this is just a little overdue sort of catch-up rant update. So if you're looking for me to make fun of Patrick Harvey and the Nationalists, then look somewhere else. That's not what this is. Carry on with your day. But yeah, so this is just a little update about what's been happening, because I've taken an extended social media break. Thought I'd just come back and just fill people in and update people on the state of things, the state of me, the state of Scotland, the state of the world. And we'll start, I guess, with the mockumentary, because as many of you should have seen, if you haven't, go check it out, that I've put up a trailer for The Tartan Messiah, and that is a sign that the full film is almost with you. It is almost out. I've got a few arsey bits to do, and as anybody who's ever made anything like that will know, it's a fucking pain in the arse, but should be with you in, let's be generous to myself, say 2 weeks. Should be roughly when the full film is out, and then I will feel like I have a weight lifted off my shoulders, because fucking hell, this is taking me longer than I anticipated. I did want to have this out a lot sooner. I wanted it done by about April-ish, but that just never happened. Part of the reason is I have had a fucking shitter of a year. The past 12 months for me have been fucking horrible, and part of that has been that I've been seriously ill like 5 times over the past 12 months, which is just mental, and that it just knocks everything back. It just delays everything, and it just interrupts everything, you know. The last time I had the stomach flu, which was just fucking horrific, and, you know, you can't do anything. I was fucking bedridden for 2 weeks, you know, and it just interrupted the editing flow, and it interrupted all the little other bits that I had to do, and it's just a pain in the arse, and that seems to be this year. And then there's the way that I tried to do this. I tried to do this under the radar, because I didn't want to put a call out to, you know, looking for people, because I was genuinely worried that, because I'm aware of what Scotland's acting community is like, how it leans, shall we say. I was very worried that if I just got random people, random actors or whatever, that I was going to get a wee nyaff who was going to see the script, who's going to take objection to what I was doing, and was then going to just leak everything, you know. Just that I either put it all out there in the open or send it to Nicola Sturgeon, and that would be the whole thing neutered before I'd even made it. So I felt I couldn't take that chance. So that meant I've had to do everything sort of via the back door. I've had to approach people in a roundabout way, and that has just taken time. It's taken a long time to get people involved in this. I don't see how I could have done it any other way without risking, you know, everything getting spoiled. That's another reason it's just taken time. I thought I'd have people queuing up to be involved in this, but that doesn't seem to have been the case. So that's contributed to it. And then there's just scheduling as well. Just, you think you're going to be able to knock this, that and out, just, you know, a couple of days, that'll be it. But then schedules happen, you can't get people involved, or you've got to push stuff back by a week, and then that interferes with your plans, and it's just fucking pain in the arse. This has weighed on me, and it's weighed on me that people donated to it. It's weighed on me that I should have had this out earlier, but that's just the way things have worked out. You know, I'm only one person. I do not have a massive team behind me. I've managed to pay everybody who was involved in this, which is, you know, again, that's meant a lot to me, and I managed to get some bits of kit to help make it, and software and all that shit, but it has been a fucking cunt of a year. But the film's nearly out, so woo, fucking celebration there. So that, I think, leads us to social media, and my social media break. I've been off social media for about 2 months now, or something like that. It just got to me. It just reached that point where I was very aware of how angry I was getting. It's just not a good place to be, and I've started to realise that, well, I realised a long time ago, but I've realised that I'm just not built for social media. I'm just not. I'm too open in terms of everything that I allow into my head. You know, some people can just shut it all out and just treat it as a thing. I feel like I've got the whole world just getting beamed into my fucking skull, and it drives me fucking mental. It really makes me unwell. Really, my mental health just fucking tanks, and I can feel it. I don't know if anybody else can feel it, but when I've been off social media for a while and I come back, I can feel it in like the back of my head, like a splinter or something just gnawing at you. I can feel it. I can feel its effects on me. It's as if, you know, I can feel my consciousness getting hijacked. I don't know how people cope with it. I see people who like swim in social media, they're fucking happy with it. I can't. I cannot. fathom how people are alright with this. I don't understand how these are the systems and these are the things that have consumed our lives and which we all need to make shit now. But of course the problem is that I need social media. You need it to broadcast yourself. I need it to put my stuff up. I need it to get support. It makes me want to dig a hole and just live underground with fucking no one around. So that's my problem, and I need to figure out a way of dealing with that. I don't know how I'm going to deal with that, because it's just fucking terrible. I'm not sure what the solution is. If I had any money to actually fucking pay someone to do it for me, I would do that. But sadly, I am living the skin-twined life, and Creative Scotland have shut down their open fund for the individuals. So that's me fucked even more, because I was right in with a shot of getting some Creative Scotland funding, so I was. Oh, cry me a river for the middle managers. Here's the thing about the Creative Scotland stuff, right? They're now saying they're out of money, right? They're now saying their budgets are getting cut and that's all terrible and we should both be dead sad about that. They've had like a decade or over a decade of getting like fully funded. And so the question that needs asked, and which I think can also and has been asked of the Edinburgh Festival, is where's the evidence of all this money? Where is the evidence that a decade worth of cultural finance has produced anything long lasting, anything concrete, has built any sort of systems or structures or cultural phenomenons that you could then look to and go, they might be in a bit of trouble just now, but at least they gave us that and that. At least it's clear that Creative Scotland have injected so much into the lifeblood of culture in this country that there are things which are going on even, as it struggles financially. Like, where is that? Am I not seeing it? I don't think it's there. And so then questions need to be asked that if you've had 10 years of really good finances, where has the majority of that money went? And I'm not one of these people who shits on everything they do. I realise there are people who have benefited from it. I realise there are things that have been funded for it that wouldn't have got funded otherwise. But we're talking about the organisation as a whole and the concept as a whole. And I think when you look at it from that sort of top-down view, it's pretty clear that a lot of the money that goes into Creative Scotland and other organisations has very little impact on Scotland's culture, has very little impact on Scotland's art scene, but does fund the lifestyles of quite a few well-connected individuals. And so maybe an audit of Creative Scotland is needed. I don't know. Let's not turn this into a Creative Scotland rant, even though I could rant about that all day. Let's probably just turn back to social media. And I don't think it'd be as bad for me if I was just a regular user, if I didn't essentially have a career that needed social media. But having that demand on you whilst feeling total fucking shit about these systems it's a bad way to be. And social media over the past year in particular has just been like horrific. Like I've seen people who I respect, who I used to respect, whose opinions I used to value, who, through what they've been through and the things they talk about all the time, they seem to be aware of propaganda and bullshit and ideology and cancel culture and authoritarianism and all the rest of it. And I naively thought that people who experience all that stuff or talk about it all the time and are aware of it, then extrapolate that out to other situations, are then able to develop and grow as human beings and utilise that knowledge and that awareness to put it to different situations or to different subject areas or whatever. And over the past year, it's been alarming how many people I used to respect who have just jettisoned all reason and critical thinking, who have jettisoned all awareness of propaganda, and they just spout the most fucking stupid shit and they repost the most stupid shit because why? And I think I've come to the realisation that those who have been heavily invested in the culture war have had their brains fucking rotted, and it's very, very obvious to see in people, and it's very saddening to see in people. And I think the sole reason for it is people are so far down this well that they have opponents, they have enemies, they have these people over here who they fucking hate, or these people over here who they fucking hate. And it seems to be like a knee-jerk response that whatever their opponents say, they must take the fucking opposite view. No matter how much it doesn't make sense, no matter how much that contradicts all the other shit they've been through, or no matter how much that invalidates their principles or their integrity, these people just seem to have to, like magnets, have to take the fucking polar opposite view. And it drives me fucking mental, because it's like I'm watching people devolve before my eyes, and I know what's happening. It's just tribalism, but it's really sad to watch, and that's contributed negatively to my social media use, and just how fucking angry I am all the time as well. And I just wish I'm just so disappointed in so many people, and I just wish they would be the better version of themselves that they pretend to be, and they're not. You know, just because someone you disagree with on this subject has another opinion, it doesn't make them wrong. I mean, we see this countless times. I'm not going to get into the fucking details of this because it'll just upset me. But over the past year, there's been countless instances where people have just made fucking arses of themselves, and proudly doing it. You know, it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. And I thought people were fucking smarter than that. I realise there's a lot of dumb cunts out there, but I just thought people were smarter than that. But they're not, and that's quite depressing. And then, you know, I've been doing a lot of introspection. I've been doing a lot of thinking. I do too much thinking. Sort of the state of Scotland and the state of comedy and the state of, you know, what I did and, you know, where I came from with that sort of stuff. And the responses to a lot of what I do upsets me, because, I mean, you could say that about anybody who makes anything. Once you've put something out there into the world, you're not really responsible for how people respond to it. So I think, you know, I'm definitely not alone in feeling a bit irked by some of the ways that my work's been interpreted, or some people who've championed it, because I know why I did what I did. I know what drove me to start this, and it's not what so many people think. People trying to paint me as like their champion for this, that or the other, and that is just, it's not the case. My aim has been primarily to tear down that facade, to tear down that fantasy land that we were all living in. Like, I started this, I think it was 2022 or 2023, I can't remember, I think it was 2022, and when I started this, we're still living in the fakery, in this strange Scotland where everybody pretended that everything was great and everything was fine, and it was dandy, and isn't Sturgeon amazing, blah 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 blah. And you had the Praetorian Guard shutting everybody down, and you had the authoritarianism and all these third sector organisations that were totally captured. You had all that, and it was suffocating, and that's why I did what I did, because I'd had enough. They put Ease the Squeeze on the side of a bus, and that was me. And so everything I've done is I hope to take aim at the weapons these people use, the tools they use to enforce their authoritarianism. Gentrified authoritarianism, but it's still authoritarianism. And, you know, to really highlight how full of shit they were and how empty their promises were, and just tear down that facade. And I've had so many people contact me after I started doing this, and they were saying, like, it was like I'd burst the dam. It was like I'd come in there and the floodgates had finally opened, and everybody was just so relieved that finally, you know, a lot of people I think felt they were going insane during that sort of time period, and that's how I felt as well. It felt like I was living in an alternate reality, or that I was trapped in a straitjacket in a mental asylum. And so many people come up to me and said, thank God you've started what you're doing. Thank God you did it, because it burst the bubble. That was such a relief for so many people. And there's a lot of people I respect. I know I've gotten shit because people think I'm a traitor to Scotland and I'm a traitor to the SNP. Oh, you're a Yoon mouthpiece and all that shit. And I've probably said this before. I think I said it in one of the other update videos. I've had so many people who I respect and who are very intelligent individuals who have said to me how much they appreciate what I'm doing and what I've done. These are very, very smart people. They're not your culture warrior people. They're not invested in this, that or the other, and they're not saying, you know, they're not grateful I've done it purely because it backs up their ideological bullshit or whatever. They were grateful that I did it because why I set out to do it, because it highlighted how full of shit Sturgeon and the SNP had become, how full of shit the Scottish Government was, how dishonest they were, and just how fake the whole thing was, and the impact that has on getting good policy made, and the impact that has on actually focusing on the stuff that matters, on you know, for independence supporter side of it, actually making the arguments for independence instead of just pretending you're doing that. And that's been good, but I was expecting more when I did this. I was expecting, and now we're going to get a little bit, fuck it, this is my video, I can get as self-pitying as I fucking want. When I did this, and when this continued to go on, I expected something more to come of it. And the support has been, like, from regular people, the support has been fucking great. This is the most successful thing that I have ever done in my life. And, you know, I'm measuring no successes there, my success is there, right? I realise it's fucking nothing, but it's been the most successful thing that I've ever done in my life. And I'm so grateful for everybody who has supported me in what I'm doing. But I expected more from other people. I expected better from other people. I expected the gatekeepers, the cultural traffic wardens, the radical artists. I expected these people to help me. Maybe not directly, but to form, you know, that I call it a third space. To form that third space in Scotland where it was okay to laugh again. It was alright to take the piss out of the government again. It was alright to take the piss out of nationalists and unionists and fucking wokes and fucking anti-wokes and fucking whoever else. That it was okay to move beyond the fucking quagmire we'd been stuck in. That it was alright to fucking aim for a bit bigger again. And I've just been utterly disappointed by everyone. I don't know why I expected more, I don't know why I expected better. Maybe I was naive in thinking that there was a chance that we could get beyond the Yuns, Nats, cultured warriors, get beyond that shit. But maybe I'm secretly an optimist. But I was genuinely hoping that other people would come out the woodwork and support me in, again, maybe not directly, but, you know, in the stuff that they were making or whatever. And it didn't happen. And that's really left a sour taste in my mouth, because I've essentially painted myself into a corner doing this. The manner in which I've approached it, I wouldn't change it, but the manner in which I've approached this stuff has meant that without any support, it's meant that I've just been subsumed by the culture war. I've got no fucking interest in that. I've taken the piss out of what I've taken the piss out of because it needed taking the piss out of, because of, as I've laid out earlier on, a very specific set of circumstances. I think identity politics was what the Scottish Government and the Scottish Greens utilised. It's what Sturgeon's Praetorian Guard utilised to silence people, to character assassinate people, to ruin people's fucking lives for having the audacity to ask questions. That's why I've done all this. And to just be left with nothing but this culture war, it is fucking miserable. I feel like I just can't do anything else. I feel like I've totally shot myself in the foot doing this, because I can't get a regular job now. I can't just go out and get a fucking regular job. I can't do anything different with my life, because these things are always going to be following me about. And I don't think that would be the case if more of Scotland's radicals had come out the woodwork, had created that third space, had been willing to say the emperor had no clothes. If that was the case, then I would just be part of that, and that would be like a scene. Instead, it's just felt like it's me out there on my fucking own, and that's shit. I don't feel like I can do anything else with my life. I feel like I've genuinely painted myself into a corner here, and I don't know where to go. This is just an honest assessment. I genuinely don't know where to fucking go. Because after this film's out, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've said what I've said. I've made what I've made. I think I've made all the points I need to make about the Sturgeon era and the SNP era, and the film's just gonna bolster that. It's gonna be a fucking great bookend to all that. And afterwards, I can't see myself just going back to making fun of Patrick Harvey. As fun as that is, there's got to be more. I'm just not sure of what the future holds when this is done, and that terrifies me a little bit, because I've said it before, I'll say it again, I feel like I'm out here on my own. I expected some sort of backup from someone, and I've had private messages from people, but the public stuff has just been, it's almost been fucking tumbleweed. And I'm like an outcast in the Scottish comedy scene. I don't think I've had any comedians reach out to me, any Scottish comedians reach out to me and say, oh, well done for doing that, oh, good, you're taking the piss out of that, fucking this, that, the other. Part of that, I think, is to do with the fact that the Scottish comedy scene's a bit captured. It's stuck in its identity politics shit, the same as the government is, the same as swathes of social media are. Maybe I'm just feeling sorry for myself. Maybe I've had more impact than I think I have. I don't know. That stuff's difficult to judge. You know, feeling like you don't have a place is just not a good place to be in. I guess I was just expecting more to come out of what I've done. And again, Like, the regular people support has been fucking phenomenal. This isn't that. You know, I really hope you all enjoy the film when it comes out. I really hope I've made something that is worthy of your time. And I hope I don't piss too many people off. Of course I will piss off loads of people, because this is me we're talking about. I guess I'm just tired of feeling isolated. I guess I'm just waiting patiently for opportunity to come and touch me on the shoulders and go, oh, here you go, here's your future, son. I realise it doesn't happen like that, but I'm genuinely struggling to think of where I go from here. If anybody knows a way out, my door is always open. Might not get back to you in time though, because the whole social media is shit thing, but you know. I guess that's a long-winded self-pitying update about where I am and the state of things and all the rest of it. Oh, I also wrote a book, by the way. As anybody who knows me personally or has been following me for years, they'll know that I've been writing this mental Scottish dystopian thing. So that's something. Big book. Big epic Scottish book. Now it's just a case of getting rejection letters upon rejection letters from literary agents and never getting it published. Which is, you know, that's another fun game all in itself. But it's an achievement. Don't diminish my achievement. I can do that fine myself. Well, that's the update. That's an update and rant and self-pitying nonsense. But, you know, maybe it's been beneficial to someone, somewhere. I can only hope. And I know there's still going to be a comment like, oh, I just fucking wasted my time watching this shit. Why are you no making fun of Patrick fucking Harvey? Is that I fucking warned you at the start that wasn't going to be in it? Why did you watch it? And then why did you get annoyed? Honest to God, it's a miracle the human race has made it this far. So I think that's me. I don't know how to end this, so I'm just going to end it. I might do another video. I probably won't. I'll get this film it, and then we'll see what the future holds. But I am not optimistic.